Hey everyone, it's Jona, and welcome to another episode of DCOMmentary. It's spooky season, and that means that there is no better time to be talking about Twitches. DCOMmentary is a series where I look back at some of the most iconic and underappreciated DCOMs and Disney Channel original series and just give you some fun facts and some history and some of my experiences with them. I was trying to go for like a Cameron-inspired outfit with like, the little bolero and like glittery, sparkly, blingy dress. I realized far too late, and by late I mean right before this video, that I don't have a sun or a moon necklace or earrings or bracelet or anything sun or moon, which is just such a missed opportunity and I should have planned better. So let's just pretend I have a beautiful sun. I think it would be sun for Cameron, right? Yes, memory? Are you there? Twitches aired on October 14th, 2005. When I read that, when I tell you I felt so old, it premiered to 7 million viewers, which is a pretty high number, especially for like a Halloween film, I feel like. Across 4 showings that weekend, it ended up drawing in 21.5 million viewers. 21.5! That is so many. That is all, let's be honest, that's all down to Tia and Tamera. People were tuning in to see Tia and Tamera. That made it the week's most popular cable program. Cable! Who here remembers cable? Because I barely do. Cable feels like such an ancient dream. Cable is not as good as streaming. I really missed an opportunity to be a songwriter. Twitches was based on a book series. How did I not know this? Did anybody out there read the Twitches books? Because I would like to know if they are too spooky for me. To put this in context, I'm afraid of Tim Burton animated movies. Should I read them or not? Twitches was based on a book series by H.B. Gilmore and Randy Reisfeld that first came out in 2001. The book series was published by Scholastic Press. Oh, Scholastic. Who remembers Scholastic book fairs? Because they were the best day of the year. Like, aside from Christmas and birthdays and holidays, Scholastic book fairs, that was where it was at. Do they still do Scholastic book fairs? Because if not, I feel like we're gonna look back on this moment in time and say that is where we went wrong. A child needs a Scholastic book fair. The series had 10 books. I'm not sure, like, if the movies were based on 1 and 2, or if they combined a few. I have no idea, so definitely let me know in the comments if you've read the series, how the movies tie in. For the screen, Dan Berenstain wrote it. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but it looks like Berenstain. He also wrote for Wizards of Waverly Place and Halloween Town High, so he definitely liked a magical, spooky vibe. Not that Wizards was spooky, because it wasn't. Of course, Twitches starred Tia and Tamera. Who else could have done Twitches? They were really the only option. Like, I didn't read that. That's not a fact. That's not a piece of history. That's just my proclaimed truth. It also starred Kristen Wilson, Patrick Fabian, Jennifer Robertson, and Arnold Pinnock. Originally, Tia was supposed to play Cameron and Tamera was supposed to play Alex, but they ended up switching. They wanted to play each other's part. I guess for the first few days of filming, the crew had trouble telling them apart. Personally, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard. I feel like I would be able to tell them apart, but I do find the twins look different in real life. Which, like, it's hard to explain. For example, the Merrill twins, online, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere, I can tell them apart. I can tell you who is Veronica and who is Vanessa. The very first time that I saw them in person at VidCon, I was stumped for a minute. I was like, what is happening to me? I can always tell them apart. But I guess, like, I don't know how or why it happens, but in person, it's different. So maybe in person, Tia and Tamera look a lot different. Or the same. Look a lot alike. Twitches was filmed entirely in Toronto in the summer of 2005. Obviously, there was heavy use of green screens and special effects, which I think, all in all, hold up to this day. I just recently rewatched Twitches, and there was nothing that made me, like, cringe super hard. I mean, for a DCOM, I can't imagine they had a huge budget. I think they did really well with the effects. Apparently, this is new information to me, apparently there was an alternate ending where instead of defeating Thanatos and going back to the birthday party, they were stuck in a magical dimension and didn't defeat him? Which would have made for a really interesting, like, hype, excitement for the sequel, but also just a really, like, dark and unsatisfying ending, especially for a DCOM. Speaking of Thanos, when I was little, obviously, Thanos didn't make me think twice, but now, every time, I'm like, Thanos? The MCU has ruined Twitches. I'm like, you're no Thanos, sir. You can't just add in a T and think that you're some sort of titan. In my Cheetah Girls episode, I referenced the daytime talk show The Real, and once again, The Real has given us information that we otherwise would never have known. A fan wrote into the show and asked Tamera if there was a switcheroo in Twitches, and she revealed that indeed there was a switcheroo. Tia at one point stepped in for Tamera because Tamera had another project that she was filming, scheduling conflicts, she couldn't make it, but obviously still really wanted to be a part of this project and get it done and see it through. So Tia was like, yeah, I can totally play Cameron for a minute. So when Cameron arrives to the birthday party and she puts on a mask, which was a very clever way of making it harder to tell, yeah, that's Tia. When I was little, I didn't notice. Now that I know it, I noticed. And I wonder if I didn't know it and I was older, if I would have noticed. Because I read this before rewatching it. I definitely think adding the mask was a sneaky way of making it less obvious. Tia and Tamera came up with the little go Twitches chant totally on a whim, totally improvised, came up with it together with their twin telepathy syncopation. They were so in sync, they came up with it, and it's the most iconic thing about this movie. It's what I remember most. When I think of Twitches, I think of the little go Twitches, go Twitches. A lot of characters in this DCOM have names inspired by Greek mythology. Alex and Cameron's witch names are Artemis and Apollo. Those are the Greek gods of the sun and the moon. And the movie's villain, Thanos, is also named after a Greek god, Thanatos, the personification of death. Thanos! Death to the universe. Is he derived from that too? The house that is used as Cameron's house, that amazing mansion, whenever Alex comes in and is like, this is your house? Little did they know that was also Regina George's house in Mean Girls. Tia has said that her son Cree didn't like the movie, and within 5 minutes of it being on, he was like, let's change this. I would be so heartbroken if my child was like not impressed by my hard work and awesome movie. In exciting news, there could be a third Twitches movie heading our way, possibly to Disney+. There's no real evidence or leads on this besides like Tia and Tamera saying that they want to do it and like they want it to be a possibility and it could be a possibility. I could see it really working for Disney+, and especially if they like make it for an older audience, like for those of us that grew up with Twitches, I really could see it succeeding. So maybe next Halloween, I guess they'd have to be in production like now. Maybe they are in secret. I would love to hear in the comments about your memories with Twitches, what you liked about it. If you read the books, I'm sorry that I hit that. I'm professional. As always, in the description, there will be emoji hints for the next episode, and I will tell you that it's a DCOM, so keep that in mind when you make your guesses. And I love you all. Stay beautiful, you people. Bye!